Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian. This is Forex and Faith. This is a channel where we get together and chat a little bit about day trading and God, and I share insights with you from my quiet time each morning. So, what are we going to talk about today? I'm glad you're here. Hopefully, you saw the short and clicked on that link and it brought you over here. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the trend. The phrase in the day trading that you've heard forever and ever and ever and ever is the trend is your friend. And I'm going to unpack that just a little bit. The title of today's video, The Trend is Your Friend, but only sometimes. So, what do we got going on here? I have learned over the course of the last 4 years that, well, let me start with this. The market that I trade, or the instrument that I trade, it doesn't particularly matter, is one of the indices, one of the indexes. It's the NASDAQ. So I have taken the advice of gurus forever. The trend is your friend. All you got to do is get in and ride the trend, ride the wave. And that is good advice. However, I've learned the hard way over a significant amount of time, years, that the market doesn't always move the same. Duh. But specifically, sometimes it trends and sometimes it doesn't trend. So, if you're trying to apply this, if you're taking the advice, the trend is your friend, and you come up with or choose a trend following strategy, a trend following system, and you would try to apply that, trade it on a day that's choppy, trade it on a day that's not trending, you're gonna get wrecked because it's whipsawing up and down, back and forth. If you apply it on a day that is trending, it doesn't even really matter where you get in. Just kind of get in at a decent spot and just hold it and just ride the wave. So, the key to this, the next step, the importance, all right, so where do we go from here, is for you to learn, for you to discern fairly early on when you sit down at the charts, for you to discern whether or not today, whatever day you're looking at, discern whether or not today is trending. Is it a trendy day or not? Is it a choppy day? You need to learn how to figure out if it's a choppy day or a trendy day, and only trade if you only have one edge or one strategy and it's a trend following strategy. Only trade on the days that are trending. It won't work on the other days. You're gonna get wrecked. And in my particular market, and to some degree maybe a lot of markets, most of the days are not trendy. Most of them are choppy. There are days where, man, it just takes off and it runs and runs and runs and runs and runs, and it's beautiful. Well, not beautiful. It is what it is. It trends. But most of the days are not like that. So you have to develop the understanding, and let's call it patience and discernment, to realize, all right, what is going on today? Now, you can potentially, I guess, come up with two strategies or two different systems or edges, one for a trendy day and one for a choppy day. That way, in theory, you could trade regardless of what type of day it is. That's not really my suggestion or preference, that you have multiple strategies, multiple edges that are pretty much opposites, because you're going to be torn trying to decide and figure out, and you're going to want to place a trade and then you'll be like, oh, I was wrong, and then you're going to try to go the other, and there is a level of confusion that's going to be brought in to your trading when you have multiple strategies and they're pretty much like opposites of each other. So it's not my suggestion that you would do that. I would say pick one, stick with it, get good at it, and don't flip flop back and forth between the two. All right, so we get it. We have to discern whether today is a trendy day or a choppy day. Now, you're probably asking, all right, how do I do that? Two suggestions, two thoughts. Is this easier on a computer? But you could do it on your phone, I guess. What I want you to do is to open up yesterday's chart. You should be trading the exact same time slot every day. You should not be randomly all over the place looking at different time zones, trading the Asian, then trading the London, and comparing that and back testing. And pick a time slot. For me, it's in the morning when the New York market opens for, let's say, an hour and a half or an hour. So from 9:30 to 11, an hour and a half. So a set, consistent time that I'm going to look at. So open up yesterday's charts. Go to whatever time it is. So from now on, I'm just going to say the 9:30. But for you, if you're busy at 9:30 and you got to trade at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever. So open up yesterday's chart. Look at the 9:30. I'm on a little bit shorter time frame, but again, that doesn't matter. So I've got my chart set on the 5-minute candles. I'm looking at yesterday's market. And from yesterday, I can see that whole time spot from 9:30 to 11 because it's not live, obviously. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to get it scaled up so I can see it nice. And I'm going to use the capture button, or however you want to basically screenshot what you have there. So you have screenshotted yesterday that market for, I don't know, several hours, and you can look at it and you can see it. And now I want you to take that picture and I want you to upload it into whatever Google Drive, folder. Basically upload it into something where you can throw a bunch of these screenshot pictures in there. What I do is I go into Google Drive and I use Google Slides, and I will dump that picture on a slide. And then, so we did that for yesterday. Then I want you to do it for the day before. Same thing. I want you to go to 2 days ago, and I want you to look at the chart, and I want you to you're not trading it. I want you to screenshot it, and I want you to take that screenshot, and I want you to go upload it as slide number 2 in your slide deck. Now, do that for the last 50 days. If you're on a 5-minute chart, I'm not quite sure how many you can go back, depending on whether you have the free or the paid version of TradingView, but you can get a bunch, 20, 30, 40, 50 days. So now you've got a Google Slides presentation, and it has 50 of these screenshots in it. Now, what I want you to do is begin to basically click on it and look at it for a minute, and then click on it and look at it for a minute, and click on it and look at it for a minute, and you'll begin to notice they don't look the same. Some days are trendy and some days are chopping all over the place. So the first thing I want to share with you is basically what I just did. You need to begin to look at the whole day as a whole and begin to look for nuances in how they're different. They will not look the same. A trendy day does not look like a choppy day when you look at it. So depending on your time frame, you might look at the first 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, and you'll see, man, on a choppy day, these first 4 candles look like they're all over the place. And on a trendy day, the first 4 candles look very different. They're a lot smoother. So that's concept number one. Utilize these Google slide presentation things to look at the days as a whole. All right, second thing that's helpful for me. When you do that, you can set up indicators, for lack of a better word. You can put one or two indicators on your chart to kind of help you with discerning choppy versus trendy. And I wanted to share with you how I do that and how it's done for me. So indicators. Number one, moving average lines. I like to have 3 moving average lines. You can use simple moving averages. You can use exponential moving averages. It doesn't matter. I usually refer to them as EMAs just because that's what I've called them forever. So put a long term, a medium term, and a short term EMA on your chart. Color them however you want. On a trendy day, they will stack appropriate. They will stack in line. You will have long term, medium term, short term, and they will go in order, I guess, depending on whether it's going long or going short. But they will stack as opposed to having them mixed up, long, short, medium. That's not the correct order. So if you have these 3 EMAs on your chart, when you're looking at the last 50 days, you will see patterns begin to emerge with how the EMAs look, how the EMAs are stacked. And that is going to be a tool that's going to help you discern, all right, this is a trendy day or this is not, based on the EMAs. All right, second indicator, it's not really an indicator, but it acts like that. On your chart, most people, well, I don't know, most people probably just use regular candles. I like to use Heikin-Ashi candles. I'm not at my computer, I can't show you how to do that, but you could easily do a YouTube search on Heikin-Ashi candles. Basically go up to your candles and click on the candle. There's about a dozen different types of candles you can choose. Click Heikin-Ashi. So I have noticed that the way a Heikin-Ashi candle works, the formula that whoever came up with to like do Heikin-Ashi candles, it does a good job of showing you the amount of back and forth kind of whipsaw movement that's taking place based on the wicks. So if it's moving all over the place on a Heikin-Ashi candle, they're going to be big, huge wicks. It's easy to see. It's very easy to see. So for me, what I'm suggesting maybe you give a try to is put your candles to Heikin-Ashi candles, not regular candles. Put a couple of EMAs on there, 3, maybe a long-term, a medium, and a short. For me, that's a 200. I use a 60 and a 20, but you could really kind of pick whatever lengths you want. Just make sure they're, you have a longer, a medium, and a short. So set up your chart with 3 EMAs, move your candles to Heikin-Ashi, go to yesterday's opening market, 9:30 to 11 or whatever time you have, and look and kind of open it up and look at it. Snap a picture and dump it in your file. I promise you, if you do that for 30, 40, 50 days, and then look at your slide deck one after another, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there will be 1 or 2 days a week where it's like, wow, that's it. That's trendy. And you'll begin to see there's a huge difference in the way the candles look, the way the EMAs look, the way it moves on a choppy day versus a trendy day. And then the hard part, you need to only trade your trend following strategy on a trendy day. Don't try to trade it on a choppy day. You're going to get wrecked. So I don't think we need to, I think I made my point there. Now let's chat for a second. All right, how does that relate spiritually? And this is I don't know, to some degree, a little bit more of the insights that I get in my quiet time. So basically, I'm having a conversation with God, and I'm asking Him, all right, that's good. That is a nice, solid trading insight. Is it applicable somehow, to my spiritual life? And yes, there is. And the phrase that the Holy Spirit put in my spirit is, you need to learn to discern. So like we need to learn to discern a choppy market from a trendy market, the same thing needs to be applied, or can be applied, over here. We must learn, we should learn, it would be good for us to learn to discern God's voice. This is a topic that I'm really, really, really passionate about. I basically kind of stumbled onto, figured it out, accidentally kind of figured out how to do God's voice, how to hear God's voice, how to discern God's voice, what that means. And maybe I'll do a video on that soon, but without jumping too far deep into that, we need to learn to discern those impressions, those thoughts, those urges, His voice. The Holy Spirit lives in us. We need to learn to discern that. That way we're not misapplying our effort in the wrong area. We don't want to trade a trend following strategy on a choppy day. And similarly, in the spiritual aspect, we don't want to try to apply something that we think we should do. We don't want to try to be obedient doing something that He doesn't want us doing. Yes, obedience is good, but He's alive and real, and He wants to guide us. So we need to be moving in the direction and applying ourselves and our faith and our gifts and our talents in the direction that He wants to go that day, which may be different than yesterday and probably will be different than tomorrow. So I think that's good enough. We're at 17 minutes. I hope this was helpful to you with regards to your trading, give you something to work on. And I also hope it was helpful to you with regards to your walk with Christ. All right, guys, bless you. Thanks for coming to check out this video. We'll see you on the next one, hopefully tomorrow.